Welcome to Roger's Rambling Ruminations. Hi, I'm Roger Ingram. And in these videos, the goals of what I'm doing are to provide you with a fresh perspective on RFP principles and to help you apply the RFP principles you learned at the school with confidence. Today's program is on leadership. Know yourself, know your job, know your people, know your culture, and grow your skills. These come from an EL continuing education program in November 2025 by David McLean, who's with RCS in Australia, which is the sister company to Ranch Management Consultants. And all these principles build on each other. You must know yourself before you can know your job, know your people, build your culture, and grow your skills. Also, note that you may need a mindset change here. Do you run a business or do you manage a collection of jobs? I'd like to suggest if you're managing a collection of jobs, that improving your leadership can be one big step forward in starting to run a business. Our first area is in know yourself, and the first thing is know your why. What is your personal vision, goals, and values? We talk a lot about a business vision, but a personal vision is extremely important. What is your purpose? Also, ego is the enemy, so you need to keep it in check. Can you admit when you are wrong, and are you approachable by all your team? In addition, you need to be courageous and also be disciplined. These are interconnected. Courageous means, do you know what is needed by the business, and even though it's going to make you uncomfortable? And even though it is making you uncomfortable, you're going to do it when it needs to be done. Remember, in the absence of action, people will make assumptions. Next is knowing your job. Ownership, really, it's there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days of the year. And you've got to take complete ownership of your role because you're accountable for producing the results of the business vision. So if that's not getting produced, then what you need to do is you need to look at yourself. What do I need to change? And then what are other changes that need to take place in the business in order to produce the results of the business vision? In addition, clarify your mission, vision, and business model with your team. And as far as the mission, they should know why the business exists and how the business serves its customers. With the vision, that shows where the business is headed. And finally, with the business model, then you can use this business model canvas in a way that can help summarize your business in just a couple of flip charts with sticky notes. Also, in knowing your jobs, know your accountabilities. Be clear on what you are responsible for and what you are not. These can be helped by the organization chart, position agreements, and effective planning meetings. On knowing your people, a good tool to use is the DISC assessment. That helps you know who is on your team. Here's an example of a DISC assessment I had. Let's say I had an employee named Tom. As you map this out, it can show the weak links in your business. And here, with this business here, we need somebody who is detail-oriented. Also, guide and grow your team. You're going to have plenty of opportunities to mentor every day, and these just may be small conversations. So don't leave growth to only being a spare time job. And that means developing feedback skills in your employees and creating an environment where they feel comfortable in giving you that feedback as they talk through how they got something done and what went well, and even more importantly, what could have been better. You need to provide care and support for your people because they need to know that you have their back. That's an important thing. And also acknowledgement of people. These are really kind of interconnected. You know, the greatest form of currency is in human connection, and those acknowledgments can go a long way. Also, what about knowing your culture? Clarifying your values. What are the core values of the business and how are they displayed daily and how are they lived daily as well? There's also keep it simple, the KISS principle. Simplicity is the key for repeatable outcomes. Here is Ryan Noble. He's an EL member. He has Noble Ranch in Yuma, Colorado, and his KISS principles are it needs to be simple enough that someone in kindergarten can figure it out and know what to do, and that it's repeatable at gunpoint. Also, with knowing your culture, embrace mistakes. You don't have mistakes happening all the time, but they do create a growth zone. So does your team feel safe to admit errors and then having the conversation of what we can do to improve? And also, what example are you setting with your culture? No job should be too big or small for anyone. You should be the one who's setting that tone by picking up trash, sweeping the shop, and any other examples that you can think of because you are setting the example of culture. As far as growing your skills, this is where you need to get out of your comfort zones, and that's growing your leadership skills. And those need to occur on an annual basis. It's just ongoing through reading or listening to audiobooks, workshops, podcasts, mentoring, coaching, those types of things. Do you have a leadership action plan for 2026? This is going to be too detailed for you and too comprehensive, but maybe there's one or two priority areas for you and one or two tasks in each one of those that you could plan for in 2026. This would be, you should have an annual leadership action plan. Well, that concludes this video for today on leadership. I want to remind you to use the great content on the RFP network and profit tips on a regular basis. Thanks a lot and have a great week.